Hello, welcome everyone to the Crypto Lounge. It's been a while, a long, long while, and finally we are now live. The thing is, we're going to talk about ICORBP, or International Council of Registered Blockchain Professional, and we have a special guest for today. She is the director of ICORBP, and she'll explain more about what ICORBP is, what's going on, and maybe talk more about blockchain. So if you're into blockchain, please stay tuned because, again, like I always say, you will be in for a treat. By the way, this is brought to you by HTML Coin Foundation, Althash Blockchain, and ICORBP, or International Council of Registered Blockchain Professionals. Now, this is my problem. I keep on having problems with brain fart, but I think I'm good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our guest for today needs no further introduction, but all I can say is she's the director of curriculum and accreditation of ICORBP. And I just really hate this. I keep on, I'm my broadcast, my computer is having some glitches, but I'm good. So she needs no further introduction. Please help me welcome Dr. Tammy Francis. Doc, how are you?
I am great. How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be back together again.
It's good to be back. And you know what? Uh, I- it's like we again. It's like we're good, we're ready, and these glitches just happened. I was trying to use my mouse, and it was not working. Oh my goodness! Like, and I'm having a panic attack in between.
No, we're not going to do that because that's what happens to us. So we're used to this. So we're just going to keep it rolling and keep it moving. So it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. So let me go with iCore BP. What's new with iCore BP? Anything that's going on? Can you talk
Well,
more?
absolutely. So ICORBP, the International Council of Registered Blockchain Professionals, Doc Vince and I are directors with ICORBP. And ICORBP is an organization that has been developed. Let me get my words, Doc Vince. We're that we were developed to standardize, professionalize the blockchain ecosystem by providing continuing education and develop relevant skills and help you, um, move into a new space. Hopefully, the blockchain space and/or one of the digital assets industries. And so, with ICOR BP, we are still moving and shaking. Last year, we started many projects and we got things off the ground. We started with the partnerships. We had the partnerships. We did
Mhm.
that. Um, we even had some things. We started promoting our certification programs and the different things that we were doing behind the scenes. We even had some webinars. We attended some conferences. We did some amazing things. So this year, what we're doing, and this is getting to Dr. Vince's question, what we're doing is we are ramping up what we've been doing. We are perfecting our systems. Our goal this year is to really utilize our platform and build our platform. And so the things that we're doing right now are behind the scenes. So you haven't seen much from us in the last few months. We took a little hiatus, not from doing the work, but from the soliciting and getting people involved and having courses going on because we wanted to do some things behind the scenes. So in March, you'll see some things happen with
Mhm.
iCore BP. We've been perfecting some of our platforms and revitalizing some of the things that we had. And so you'll see calls for certifications and all those sorts of things. We have some amazing things planned this year that I'm not going to mention just yet, but we
No,
have
yeah.
some amazing educational experiences planned for this year. And so next week, what are we going to say? The thing that's going to come soon, I guess I want to say, is Crypto Lounge. We're going to be back on Fridays sharing education around the blockchain space. We're going to be talking about Web3, NFTs, metaverse. we're gonna we're gonna talk about all of it,
Mhm.
DeFi, all of it, and we're gonna bring some experts from the industry. So you can hear from others in the industry who are doing amazing things and how, because we are that certifying body, we are actually going to bring on people who can share the different careers because, y'all, we want you to know that there is a place for you in blockchain. You just have to find how that fits in for you and go for it. And so we are about certifying different careers where even non-tech people like the two of us enter the blockchain space. We know about it, we can teach about it, we know the technology, but we also have tailored it to our niche. And so Doc Vince is in healthcare, I focus on education, and
Mhm.
so we participate in this environment that way. So we want to share others who are doing amazing things with you, so that way you know, like, how does ICORBP fit into your life? Like, what certification do you want to pursue? What area do you want to pursue in getting certified? What fits what you're doing? And
Mhm.
of course, offer educational experiences around that.
Now,
I said a
you,
lot. Sorry,
you
Doug.
said a lot. I guess the interview's done. Bye bye. You get everything answered. Now, for the sake of our audience who haven't heard about blockchain, maybe you could give them a short overview of what is blockchain and how is it significant nowadays, because you've been invited all over the globe, and recently you have a speaking engagement in Africa. I guess that would be next week, am I
Next
correct?
week.
So
Next week. Next Thursday.
and this is the thing that everyone's talking about blockchain. Maybe for, yeah, a newbie layman who doesn't haven't heard about blockchain, what is blockchain and how is it significant?
Now, Doug Vince, I like how you ask these questions that you know the answer to, too. I think we can have a conversation about it. But, blockchain technology is distributed ledger technology. And, as it relates to ICORBP, this is going to impact the industry so much, because, it's a $3.1 trillion industry. And so, so blockchain technology is that technology that we hear all these things. We're hearing all these buzzwords, like NFTs and uh I'm losing it.
Metaverse.
Cryptocurrency. I lost it. See, cryptocurrency, all of that. And all of that is built on use this technology. And so it's really going to be, I'm trying not to answer all the questions. So it's really important when we talk about importance, it's really important that you start learning about it, getting into this space, learn how it's useful, how it's peer-to-peer, how it's decentralized. If there's some that are not, but true blockchain technology, it offers those capabilities and this
Mhm.
ability to be sovereign and to have freedom and control over your own currency and or finances or your NFTs or whatever it is that we're talking about. It gives you back some of that control. And so a lot of that is really important as we move into a new decade, new way things are going, because we know this last 2 years has been all about control. But we're not going to get into that. That's a different
Now,
broadcast. That's a different broadcast about this vaccine and stuff. But it's really, I think, if it's this source of freedom. Blockchain is freedom, and it provides us provides a way for us to take some of that control, and you become your own bank. You can do some of these other things, especially when we're talking about cryptocurrency, which most people typically connect it with is cryptocurrency, but it's not. Like, okay, I'm a hush. add
no, no,
add
no, no, no.
add add add
You're good,
add
because
add add.
most people hear about cryptocurrencies, they hear about NFTs or non-fungible tokens, those art, music, even you have football, NFL, who used recently advertised cryptocurrency, MCO. You have LeBron James doing some NFTs again. Then you hear the word metaverse. What is metaverse? And those things are really rooted into blockchain, Web3. And people don't really recognize that The main word here is the big B, the blockchain, because everything is rooted down into the blockchain. Am I
Right.
correct? Now, as a profession, like
Mhm.
for us as blockchain professionals, um, where do you see uh, the young professionals, if they're interested into blockchain, where do you see them fit in? And does it, you did mention about, even if you're not a developer or a technical person, you can still be a blockchain specialist. So maybe you could talk more, expound on that, because there's a shift. I could see as a big shift in terms of where the profession is, where work would be in the next few decades.
So that's a great question because a lot of people don't understand the impact. And you mentioned about age, but really age doesn't matter in this case because all anyone who's of working age, I think, should explore how this particular how blockchain technology and the industry and the jobs and careers that are available in that industry, how they connect with them. And so this is a great time to start learning what those are. Like a lot of people are like, well, what are you talking about? What are those? Because you got to think that, um, it has been reported that and predicted that blockchain technology could enhance around 40 million jobs globally by 2030. 40 million jobs. And so at some point, and that's 2030. Like, listen, we're already in 2022. That's like 8 years. And I think because of the craze and all the hype around it right now, I think it will accelerate that. I don't think it would be 2020, 2030. I think it'd be sooner than that because the way everything is going and people are getting into the space, people are learning. And so
Mhm.
if you don't even know what we're talking about today, if you don't even know the terms, it's time for you to contact us. To contact us, contact ICORBP, look, do some research, get on Google. There's YouTube University. There's some other things, but start just learning about it, hearing
Mhm.
about it. And then, of course, you can come to us so we can help you figure out which career matches your skills and abilities, and then make sure that you're certified, that you have a credential that can make you competitive and marketable when all this when takes over. Well, it's already here. It's already taken over, but you know what I mean when it
Mhm.
really accelerates. So yeah.
Yeah, I went to our website, and some people need to understand the difference between being certified and being accredited. And it says here, getting your ICOR BP certification will formalize your blockchain credentials,
Mhm.
and it will establish your credibility as a blockchain professionals. And
Right.
as we all know, there's a lot of certifying or certification courses online. So what is the role of ICOR BP here? And maybe you could talk more about those two, please.
Yes. So certification is more of what the individual would get. The individual would get that based on whatever course of study or whatever artifacts that they have to justify that certification. And the reason I say it the second way is because we actually take an account, unlike most places, your experience. Not only your traditional or formal training, we also take an account what you have done in the industry or the field that's related. And so, because we do that, the certification puts all that together and on a certificate where it's one, and you will have that credential. That credential is something you can share to with employees. You can uh, we haven't gotten there about credentialing and if you're dependent on an institution, some institutions are using blockchain for credentialing and putting their certificates on there. And so if that's the case, then you can add that one too, right? You can add it to the list, your resume, those things that you need to get a higher paying job. Now, accreditation, that's more for a program, an institution, a company, someone who has an actual program who wants to be accredited. So, and that means that their program, when we talk about the standards, there's a criteria There's standards that they've meeting that said they have a viable, rigorous program, and the contents, the courses, the education, those things that they're offering are quality. And so that's what we look at when we're talking about accreditation, is we're looking at the actual in companies, whether it's an
Mhm.
academy, a school, whether it's companies who have a program and they want to certify that program so that way they can reach and outreach to the community, whatever that. So that's the difference. So if your organization, your business, your institution, your company, whatever, your council, your academy is looking to be accredited, we can do that. We go in and look at your courses, your program, your offerings, and make a determination based on a criteria. If you're an individual and you just want to get certified because you want to be a registered blockchain professional at whatever level of experience and credentialing you have, then you can seek that. And that way, when you pursue a job, or you want to make a transition in or out of job, or you want to establish entrepreneurship, right? You want to establish your own business, then you have that opportunity. You can do that.
Quick question: does ICORBP give a course sorry about that, curriculum about blockchain?
So ICORBP, we will have programs and events around that will be educating on blockchain technology and the different things, NFTs and things like that. We'll have special events. Like I said, like we're going to do the crypto lounge, but we're also going to have some formal events and workshops and things that we're going to be offering later this year. And so those will be there. We'll have seminars and conferences and all of that. However, for if you want to go to and take a sequence of courses and you want to go through a program, we would have to connect you with one of our partners. So like we partner with 𝐷𝐻 University, so we could refer you. And right now they're having enrollment for March. I think the
Mhm.
next cohort starts March 7th. And so if we know something like that is going on, we refer you to them. You can go through the coursework. You will also get certified with them. But say you have experience and you have some other things, then that's when you would come to us, and we'll put all those credentials together to give you that one certificate that say you have so many hours, you have this credential, you have this experience, and whether you're an expert or you're just a registered blockchain professional, whatever that is, you have that, and you can take that and pursue whatever career or aspect of the job market you like.
Doc, question for you is, for example, I'm here in India. I
Mhm,
got certified as a blockchain specialist.
mhm.
Will this apply to United States, UK, or other countries?
So it just depends on the job and what they. So the answer is yes. However, we know that depending on the level of whether you're, an entry level position versus an executive position, some things we know with credentialing in general, just from in the same city, from one school to another, some of those credentials, depending on what's acceptable, they have their own criteria because each institution or business have their right to do that. However, our certificate is meant to be, it's a global campus. It's meant for the whole industry. So it is acceptable and usually accepted everywhere. So we don't expect it won't be, but I have to say a disclaimer that, people can set their own rules.
Mm, right,
And
right.
I have to put the disclaimer out there and a little caveat. They can't set their own rules and criteria of what they deem as acceptable and from whom. So some may just want a university, right? Some may not take, a university rather than, a council like us, right? Because, but they may take the one from 𝐷𝐻 University because it's a
Mhm.
university, right? So it just depends. But that's just my disclaimer. But yes, the certificate is meant to be used and can be used globally. Yes.
Two things. First is as an individual, how do I get started with ICORBP if I want to be registered?
So, how you want to get started is right now we are updating our site and our platform so that we can streamline and make sure that everyone gets in our system and we can process things efficiently and effectively. And so, because of that, starting next week, we'll have a place where you can go sign up and you can do that. Currently, if you want, you can always email our certification department at cert at icorbp.org. and you can send an email there. Just give us your name and a way to contact you. Whether, of course, we'll have your email. Just confirm that the email you're sending it from is the email you want responses to. So
Mhm.
name, email, and the best time to contact you. And of course, we'll be sending out anyone who's on that list. We'll be sending out information when the portal is open and ready to go.
And for institutions, if they want to be accredited or be a partner of ICORBP, how do they start?
So if they want to be accredited, they can contact the same email. It's the same email, CERT at CERT at ICORBP.org. And if you want to be a partner, you contact Doc Vince. No, you can send it to the same email and I will forward it to him, depending on the partnership, because we work together on that as well. So you can definitely send it to that email, since that's the one that I've mentioned a couple of times today. But really, I'm going to turn you over to Doc Vince if you're interested in partnering with us and collaborating with us on different things, because we also have Doc Vince. You didn't remind me. New.
What?
We have the blockchain internship program that we're developing. We
We
have
have
that.
the
We will pilot it in March. So we will open it up to the public later this year, but we're going to
Mhm.
pilot it in the month of March. We're going to see how it goes, get feedback from those participants. But the blockchain internship program is for those who are juniors and seniors in high school, or the pilot will be. We'll
Mhm.
may expand it, but right now it's juniors and seniors in high school or secondary school, depending on which country you're in. But it's those juniors and seniors who want to start learning about blockchain, who thinking about pursuing a career in blockchain or continuing their studies, or they just want to be introduced to it. It's a good time to be
Right.
introduced to it. And so we are starting that program. And so we'll be piloting that in March. And stay tuned for more when we open it up to the world, because it's going to be an amazing program. I'm really excited about that program. That's kind of what I consider my baby right now. So when we talk about new stuff, that's the new with ICORBP. So we will
Now,
be having that educational program. That's probably the only one that we have. The other ones will go to our partners.
how is this different from the junior blockchain?
So it's the same. So we just renamed it. So instead of it, so those of you that may hear that, I don't like the word junior, so I took it out. So it's actually the same. It's just it's an internship program, kind of like an apprentice program for those juniors and seniors. So same group of people, we're serving them.
And I heard there are already several interns within lining up interested with the program that we're having for next month. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
we have a full class. We were trying to keep the numbers small, just so since it was a pilot, just to see how it goes and see how the
Hmm.
flow and the rhythm and all that, and working with the different instructors, because we are working with instructors from Altash University. So because we're doing that, we were just trying to make sure that it all worked out and it all flowed seamless. And so from registration all the way through the program. So but it looks like we're going to have more than we expected. So it's going to be a good group. It's a good size group. So it's when I think about it as an educator, I think about a class size, right? Well,
Mm.
probably not an elementary class size, because probably more like a middle school, high school class size,
Uh,
where
uh.
they swell, where there's not a limit.
Well, with everything's in a virtual space, I'm sure this would explode like wildfire. That's how I see it in the next in the nearest future. Now, Doc, I'm so what, for quite some time we haven't done anything
I
in the
know,
blockchain virtual space,
right?
doing live broadcasts, and it's been a joy talking to you, being here as a guest here in Crypto Lounge. And especially next week we'll have a lot more going on the table for our viewers, for our guests, and I hope they would support. And I'm not gonna hope, but rather please do support us. Now, Doc, final
Yes.
thoughts, final message to our viewers.
Thank you. This has been awesome. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for inviting me. And, hopefully something made sense. And if it didn't, you can contact me. at CERT, CERT at ICORBP.org. And just let me know who you are and what you'd like to know, what information you'd like to know. And I will share that with you. And just start really considering getting into this space, learning more about blockchain technology and all. And I recommend you start there before you get into all these other things that are really trending right now, trending topics, is to start there and get educated on that and what that is and the technology, because I think a lot of the other things will make more sense. When you hear the words like DeFi, you'll know, oh, decentralized finance, you'll know what those things are. When you hear things like metaverse, you'll know, like, what does that truly mean? And Web3, you'll kind of know what all that encompasses, and you'll learn the transition. So I just recommend that you start learning about this and thinking about what is it you want to do next. When I talk about careers, we talk about the job market. Do you want to stay where you are for the next 20, 30 years? Or are you thinking about transitioning? Do you think you want to grow? Do you think you want to do more? You know, my platform, my personal platform is all about more. If you think you want to do more, then it's a good time to start preparing for whenever that comes. And you may not transition or do anything in the next year or two, but 5 or 10 years, when there's those 40 million jobs available that are, or that involve, I guess I may not say available, because they may be taken by people like me and those of us already in the space, but those jobs that are requiring knowledge of blockchain. You know, like what I do, the knowledge helps. It's not necessarily required, but at some point I could see the transition in education where that's really big. There's already a lot of talk about Web3 educators, and we're talking about K-12 higher ed educators. So I can see how that's going to grow in my field. So the same thing I recommend to you is just start seeing how this applies to your industry or the industry you're interested in, or where your skills and talents lie, and contact us. Contact us, and we'll help you out and figure out some things from there if necessary.
And there you go, the director of accreditation for ICORBP, and at the same time the CEO of, was it
Catalyst
Change?
for Change Global
Catalyst for Change. Catalyst for Change.
is my logo.
Anything going on other than ICORBP? You might have some, programs,
Oh.
projects, books that you want to promote. Go ahead. The floor is yours, Dr. Pam.
Thank you. So next week we are having, and Doc Vince mentioned it earlier, the Converge 3 conference, where I am one of the keynote speakers. And we invite you to join. You can go to converge.blockbuild.africa. Let me get the words right. Converge.blockbuild.africa. And you can register. It's free. You can join. There'll be a couple of panels. There'll be a couple of keynotes, and join. That's free education. And that's a way to learn about this space. And we're talking about all those topics. There will be some books and things happening later this year, so stay tuned about that. I'm not ready to talk about those things, but you can go get Reap More. Reap More is my last book, my latest book. Reap More, 76 Seeds for this season. It's actually a book of quotes, because I always say that I'm a business mindset strategist. So beyond like what I do in business and blockchain and consulting and things like that, I'm also big on mindset. I don't think you can do anything in this space. You can't do anything unless your mind's right. Like that really propels you forward and makes it work. And so I do have that book of quotes and commentary, and it's kind of like a daily reader. So,
Mhm.
and of course that you can get on Amazon or drtammyfrancis.com.
There you go. Doc, I love that quote that, you can't do anything unless your mind is right.
Yeah.
You should have a proper mindset.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry about that. It just popped up. This
I
is
love it. It was perfect.
Blockchain Foundation.
That was a perfect commercial break.
There you go. So anyway, again, big gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. And to our audience, see you soon. Stay safe. Be safe. God bless you all. Bye bye. Doc,
Bye.
talk to you
Thank you,
later.
Dr.
Don't
Yeah,
go yet. Don't go yet.
I know.
I'm gonna
I know.
call.